Here you see that now I have put the name of fall 2022 underline R, underline 1, and also you see the extension here is R. Okay, now we have C open parentheses 4, 6, 7, all of them of one type. So one thing that I want to tell you, when you want to run a code in RStudio, when you are in this space, you are going to learn more techniques, more tricks. But when you are here, see, I put the cursor at the end of the command, my friends, and here, run. When I run it, at the bottom, you can see what's happening over there. I can run it many times. You see? Okay, what's happening here? It shows the command C467 and it shows the result. And again, make sure you are doing each steps and not just listening or watching, and make sure you are good with that. Since it is the first session on programming, I'm just waiting for your feedbacks to make it faster, to make it slower, and all those things. So now I'm very conservative regarding the speed of our class. Okay, now there is no name for it. Let's put a name on that. What name? Let's put this name. Okay, I put my name here and I put equal to that sign. So let's see what will happen when I run this. Okay, now you can see that when I run this, there is no printing. Why it happens? Because when I run it, it is just a command. There is no printing command. So you see, I said put this vector to this variable here. Okay, now if I want to get print of, to see what is Milad here, I type here Milad and I cursor here and run it. You see, you get the results over here. You may ask, what happens if instead of equal I use smaller dash sign? Okay, so I'm gonna use smaller dash sign and let's make it this way. So when I run it, again the same thing, and you see there here we don't see any printing, it is just a command. What if I want to see the result? M, and I go for this one. Another thing that we said, all of this is ordered. Okay, this is ordered means everything has a reference address. Okay, so when I put M1, okay, we have M1. Okay, now I'm telling R, give me index 1 of M, and I run it. See what is the result? It gives you 4. Why? Because as I showed you in the slide, this is ordered. It is index 1, index 2, index 3. Let's put M3 and run it. It gives you 7. Okay. Another point you may ask, all the things that we have here are numbers. Can we put other types of inputs, for example, characters? Let's try it. Let's try it. And again, my friends, at this time, don't wait for me. Stop the video and do your trial and error. In that way, you are going to learn it much better. Okay, N, C, open and close parentheses. Okay. When you want to give characters or if you want to give strings, you need to use quotation mark or double quotation mark. Okay, it is a quotation mark. I'm gonna put here AA, for example, AB, and I need to put it in quotation, and AC. Okay, and I run it. You see, it get the command. Here you can see the printing, and N, I run this, and it is the results. And when I go, for example, I put N2, what should we expect? We expect AB. You may ask, Milad, here they are quotation, double quotation mark, but here you put quotation mark. There is no difference. That's the good point about RStudio. RStudio is the least sensitive programming language. So we just practiced, my friends, how to create the first data structure in R. In future, we are going to make the most out of these vectors that we are creating here, because we are going to save our data with this structure. And now we are gonna get back to our PowerPoint, and we go for the next data structure. You see, my friend, how much it is easy. It is a programming language, and when as soon as we learn about all these structures, we start doing some computation projects with them, and you will notice how much it is easy to do all these amazing things with R. Okay, we are back to our PowerPoint, and we are going to see what are lists. Vectors and lists are totally very close to each other. That's the reason I have put both of them in the same page. Okay, lists are generic vectors. So they are vectors but generic. What does it mean? It means that they are ordered, they are collection of elements, but it means the elements of list could be of any type, can be of any type, including list. What does it mean? It means that in a list you can put another vector. In a list you can put another list. So their storing capacity is amazing. Okay, when we wanted to create vectors, we use this syntax: C, open and close parentheses, and elements here. Okay, but when we want to create lists, we are gonna follow this syntax. Okay, what's happening here? Here we have the name of the variable, that is nothing, you can put any name for that. Here we have smaller dash that you can replace it with equal. So you see how much it is in common with the previous one. That's the point, my friends, in programming. If you learn the basic, you are gonna learn the more advanced materials easier, because many of that new materials are in fact repetition of the old material. So if you know vectors well, you learn lists much faster. Okay, so you put list and you put your elements here, as you can see. Here the first element is a string. The second element is number. The third element is a vector. Okay, so now you are noticing another point, that not only lists are ordered collection of things, but in fact you can name the elements. For example, the title of the name of the, what is the index of this? The index of this is 1. The index of this is 2. The index of this is 3. Okay, but it also has a name. What is the name of this element? Title. What is the name of this element? Year. What is the name of this element? Cast. And now we are gonna practice it together. That's the reason you see it can refer to each element with number. What is movie 3? Movie 3 gives us this one, and movie year gives us this one. Okay, we are going to practice all these things with many examples and you are going to learn them. But please learn all of them step by step with our class, because if you let these things pile up and you want to catch up in one session, two sessions, one day, 1 week, it would be a torture. And also the quality of learning is not as good as you just gradually, slowly, smoothly develop your knowledge with the class, because I'm very careful about the pace of class to not make it overwhelming for you. Okay, now let's go to our studio and practice this command for lists. Okay, we are going to create a list here. Let's go with a list without name to see what will happen. Okay, so I'm going to put here something like hope. Okay, the first element I put is string. The second element I put is a number, and the third element I'm gonna put a vector. And remember, you can put the continuities and put list and all those things. So for this, I'm gonna put elements something like that. Let's go for 20, 18, and let's go 2019, and let's go 2023. Okay, now we have this. Let's run it. Okay, see my friend, I ran this list, and you, I'm sure, smart enough to notice the differences. For the previous one, all of them were 1, but here it says 1, 2, 3. Okay, as you can see, and it analyze each element separately. The first one is hope, the second one this, and now let's save the name. Okay, as you can see, now I put this list in a variable voyage and I'm getting print. Here I want to show you two things. If I do these things, you see, I highlight both of them and now I go run it. It goes and run both of them. So if I show you, you see, in the first one, it read this one, and for the second command, it get the print of those things. Now let's go and get the reference for each of these elements. Okay, now we have voyage 1 and voyage 3. I'm going to highlight them and I'm going to run them to see what happens. You see, voyage 1 tells me hope, that's correct, and voyage 3 shows me the vector I had here. And as the last points that we are going to do today, we know that here our list doesn't have a name. Let's go and put name for these elements and see what will happen. You see, my friends, here I have put name for the first index A, the second index B, and the third index X. How we are going to execute it to see, here pay attention to see what happens. Okay, what is the name? First we need to run it so it knows it now. Okay, so now I have voyage. Okay, see, one thing that happens, it shows me that voyage. I can click on that, but the point is that when you want to refer to any element of this list, you need to use the sign $. When you use $sign, it asks you about which one do you want to get. I'm gonna put, for example, B. Okay, and I'm gonna run it, and it shows me the results. And just imagine when you have big databases, how much it could be helpful. Again, voyage. It shows me pop up the variable that is close to here, voyage. I put the $sign. It shows me which one. I said, for example, X. And after that, I run it and it shows me. And remember, see, voyage $X. Try it and let me know if you have any question.